You can make a decent living and still feel like money is slipping through your hands. Not because you are reckless, not because you are bad with money. Sometimes it is just too many small leaks, a few subscriptions you forgot, a takeout habit that felt harmless, one upgrade after another, a wallet that opens a little too often and closes a little too late. Money gets loud like that. And when money is loud, your mind gets crowded too. So in this video, I want to give you 7 quiet rules that make money feel lighter in 2026. Nothing extreme. No shame. No hard reset. Just a calmer way to spend, notice waste, and keep more of what you already earn. Stay with me to the end, because the final rule is the one that makes the others stick. It is not about willpower, it is about one weekly ritual that quietly changes how money feels in your home. Rule number 1. Write money down. If money only lives in your head, it disappears faster. You tell yourself you will remember the coffee, the snack, the small order, the replacement cable, the subscription trial, but the brain is busy. It always is. This is where a simple notebook helps. Not a perfect system, not a beautiful planner with 5 colored pens. Just a plain page. Write the expense down as soon as you can. Coffee, 480 yen. Delivery fee, 320 yen. Groceries, rent, train card refill. That is all. This is close to the spirit of kakebo, a Japanese household bookkeeping practice. It simply means keeping a written record of your money so you can see it clearly. And seeing it clearly changes behavior. Because when spending becomes visible, it becomes slower. A hand reaches for the wallet, but the notebook is already there. The tea is cooling beside it. The number on the page feels more real than the number in your head. That is the first quiet relief. You do not need to judge every line, you only need to notice. Rule number 2. Separate the money early. A lot of money stress begins before the month even starts. Everything lands in one place, and then every expense fights every other expense. Food competes with rent. Fun competes with savings. A late-night impulse competes with a future you actually care about. That is exhausting. So divide the money early. Set aside essentials first. Housing, food, transport, bills. Then separate flexible spending. Then savings. If you use cash envelopes, paper folders, or separate accounts, the method matters less than the boundary. The point is to give every category a place before temptation arrives. You are not being strict for the sake of being strict. You are reducing decision fatigue. Imagine opening a drawer and seeing each envelope already labeled. Fixed costs, food, personal spending, savings. The mind relaxes because it no longer has to argue with itself all month. That is what boundaries do. They keep small choices from becoming daily confusion. Rule number 3, notice waste before it becomes a habit. There is a quiet Japanese word, mottainai, often used to express regret over waste. But practically, it is more than a feeling. It is a habit of asking, what can still be used? What can be finished? What can be repaired? What can be canceled? Because waste is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is a fridge full of ingredients that were never turned into meals. Sometimes it is a duplicate item bought because the first one was already somewhere in a drawer. Sometimes it is a subscription you forgot existed, quietly charging you month after month. Sometimes it is delivery fees. Not the meal itself, just the extra cost of avoiding a 10-minute task. So take one calm look around your home. Open the refrigerator. Check the shelf. Look in the drawer. Review the subscriptions. Do not do it in a panic. Do it like a household audit. A small kitchen, a grocery list, a repaired mug, a canceled app. These are not dramatic wins, but they matter, because every bit of waste you notice early is money you do not have to earn again later. And that creates a strange kind of peace. You stop feeling like money is evaporating. You start feeling like you are in the room with it. Rule number 4. Make tiny improvements visible. This is where Kaizen helps. Kaizen means continuous improvement, small changes. Repeated consistently, not a reinvention, not a financial identity makeover. Just one better move at a time, Maybe this week you pack lunch twice. Maybe you pause one subscription. Maybe you spend 10 minutes sorting receipts. Maybe you switch one habitual delivery order to a simple home meal. The improvement does not have to be impressive. It has to be repeatable, and it has to be visible, because invisible progress does not feel real. And if progress does not feel real, people quit too early. So track one small improvement on paper, one checkbox, one note, one line on a page. A hand marks it in the notebook, then another mark, then another. By the end of the week, the page is telling a quiet story. Not perfection, momentum. That matters more than it sounds like it should. Because money change is often not about one big decision. It is about repeated small decisions that stop draining you. And now, before we go on, slow down for a moment. Money is not only a math problem, it is also attention. Whatever gets your attention tends to get your money. A noisy phone, a messy room, a stream of comparison, endless shopping tabs open in the background of your mind. That environment makes it harder to spend calmly. So, if your money feels scattered, look at your attention first. Turn the phone face down. Clear one table. Leave the wallet in one place. Put the notebook where your hand will actually reach it. Rain on the window. Quiet desk. Tea beside the page. That is not just aesthetic. That is a money system. Because a calmer environment makes calmer choices more likely. Rule number 5. Buy less status, keep more peace. This one is hard because status pressure is everywhere. A new phone, a better jacket, a prettier routine, a life that looks more upgraded than the one you actually have. And sometimes buying is not about the object at all. It is about trying to feel behind less often. That is a very human feeling, so do not shame it. Just notice it. Before you buy something, ask one quiet question. Is this solving a real problem or is it solving a social feeling? If the answer is social, pause. Not forever, just long enough to tell the difference. You might not need the item, you might need rest, or confidence, or a better boundary with what you keep seeing online. This is where a shopping app pause can save a surprising amount of money. A hand opens the phone, then stops. That pause is small, but it is powerful, because status spending often comes with hidden costs. More maintenance, more comparison, more pressure to keep matching the version of yourself that the purchase created. Quiet spending is different. It does not try to prove anything, it just keeps your life stable. And stability feels lighter than status almost every time. Rule number 6. Repair before replacing. Not everything needs to be upgraded. A button can be sewn back on. A shoe can be cleaned. A small appliance can be fixed. A chair can keep going a few more years. A mug with a chip can still hold tea. This is where Japanese ideas like kintsugi and wabi-sabi are often mentioned. Kintsugi is the practice of repairing broken pottery, historically with visible joins. Wabi-sabi points to the beauty of imperfection and simplicity. You do not need to romanticize them. The practical lesson is enough. If something still works, respect it. If something can be repaired, repair it. If something can be reused, reuse it. There is a deep calm in that. Because replacement is not just expensive, it is mentally noisy. It creates more decisions, more purchases, more clutter, more things to manage. Repair, on the other hand, gives an object a second life, and it often gives you a quieter room too. Hands sewing a button, a cloth wiping a table, a tool working one more season. That is not deprivation, that is enough. And enough is a very useful word. Rule number 7. Keep one weekly money ritual. This is the rule that holds the others together. Choose one day each week. Sunday evening works for many people, but any quiet window is fine. Then do the same small routine. Review the spending, check the wallet, look at the receipts. Restock what is needed. Plan a few simple meals. Cancel one thing if necessary. Move the money into the right places. A short review, a clean reset, a calmer start. That is the whole ritual. In Japan, kakebo is often tied to reflection at the start or end of a day or month. But you do not need a formal tradition to benefit from the rhythm. What matters is repetition. Your money stops feeling like a surprise when you meet it regularly. A notebook opens, receipts are sorted, a drawer is closed, the wallet is folded shut, tea is poured. The week begins with less noise because you gave it a place to land, and there is a deeper truth here. Quiet freedom does not always feel dramatic. It often feels ordinary. Fewer random purchases, fewer unopened bills, less food waste, less clutter on the table and in the mind, more room to breathe, more room to wait before buying, more room to say no without guilt. You do not need a perfect budget to feel this. You only need one quiet rule to begin. Maybe you write down every expense for 7 days. Maybe you separate your money into 3 parts. Maybe you cancel one wasteful subscription. Maybe you repair one thing instead of replacing it. Pick the smallest version that still feels real, then repeat it next week. That is how financial freedom often starts, not with a louder life, with a quieter one. So let me ask you one simple question. Which of these 7 rules would make the biggest difference in your week right now? If you want, start there. 1 rule, 1 week, 1 calmer money habit. And if this video helped you think more clearly about money, stay close to Quiet Yen. Subscribe for more calm money clarity, and keep building a life that feels lighter, one quiet choice at a time.